I'm Nick. Dave. I was trying to catch up. Not sounding anything. Sit in the car park with your JD. This is that podcast where we change you from lad to quintessential Aussie dad while sharing our fatherhood wins along the way. I'm Nick.
I'm Dave.
I can't hear anything.
That's Cam, and we thank you once again for taking the time out of your busy weeks to share our fatherhood stories and yours. We're here with a very special guest this week who, if you didn't hear our live episode on RUOK Day Sunday, we spoke to Chris the Pastor Podlick.
It's a great podcast name.
Yeah, it is actually.
I don't mind that.
Religious podcast. Best pastor in Griffin, I've heard.
It's the only one I've heard.
Most popular church in Griffin.
Keep it coming.
Beyond Church. The pastor of Beyond Church. No, really generous to let the Shit Dad boys come and share some Are You OK Day wisdom, would you call it?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll say wisdom. I think we walked away with a lot more. I think
I know, right?
So it was just unreal.
How's it going, Chris?
I'm good. I'm excited to be here.
How good is it? Thanks for coming.
I'm stoked.
He's also bought a 6-pack of JDs as well, which we're all very excited about.
It's Whiskey Monday.
That's how you podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I thought.
It'll loosen up the vocal cords. And but we're going to kick it off now with a bit of housekeeping. All right, don't forget to put a 1-word review in on Apple or wherever you listen to your podcast, and 5 stars because we really want to confuse our potential listeners by them only seeing one random word, but also 5 stars. So it's pretty conflicted.
And completely unrelated.
Unrelated would be great, but yeah, it keeps us relevant and it keeps us moving up the chart. So keep it coming. We really appreciate it.
Don't forget to hit us up on socials, shitdadpod@gmail.com or @shitdadpod on Instagram. The best ways to get in touch, shoot us a Gmail, slide into those DMs, tag us in something, and also send through your thoughts or ideas for episode topics, anything you want to discuss or any questions you have, of course, as well as any Shit Dad moments.
Don't forget to get in touch too for some Shit Dad merch packs, $30. Get yourself a shirt, stubby cooler, and awesome bumper sticker. We'll even throw in some postage, so let us know.
And we'll come around for a whiskey.
Our too.
Yeah. Don't forget to get your family into a Nakey hammock, our friends, this summer. Use the code DADPOD for 10% off and free shipping anywhere in Australia. And can confirm they are comfy as F. And they are recyclable. Recyclable? No, they're recycled. Each one is made from about 37 plastic bottles. Do your bit for the environment.
I also heard that they plant 4 trees for every purchase.
Yes, definitely.
Like that.
Bloody good.
Have you seen those completely unrelated, not sort of related, but have you seen those things where the little pods where when you die, they like plant you under a tree grows from your body?
Oh, that's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah,
for
so
sure.
it's like burying you for a reason.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If I do that, I want to be so drunk when just before I die. Yeah.
What tree would you turn into?
I don't know. Yeah. A whiskey tree.
That's how they make it, right?
Where'd you get yours? Which tree did you get yours off? The ones you bought tonight, Chris?
Actually, Emma picked them up for me. Oh. She was doing the click and collect, and I was like, babe, could you get some JD for the boys?
JD for the boys. Episode title.
She gets it.
We are appreciative.
Thanks, Em.
Candy, soda, America.
Now, guys, I wanted to also just kick off this ep with a bit of Halloween chat. So, obviously, next Monday or Tuesday, can't remember.
Tuesday.
This is the first time we've had a proper run at Halloween. You know, the kids have been just a bit too young in the past few years, but now they're actually really excited. They're doing all the stuff at kindy. They think they've got new costumes, but we'll just open the costume box and figure out whatever's in there.
Do you need any, Cam? I know, right.
Yeah. Dave's only got a couple of costumes.
Only a couple. Not many.
So do you guys have any tips or tricks of how to, if you do celebrate Halloween or any trick-or-treating kind of little best case practices that you get to do in your neighbourhoods?
All right. One, it's for the dads. So, was it last year or a couple of years ago? I was doing trick-or-treating, and then when I went to a couple of particular houses, they had the lollies for the kids, But then there was the dad standing in the garage with a esky, like, "Hey mate, you want a beer?" Yep. And flick your can. So there it was, walking around in my costume with my little one, drinking my beer while she was smashing her lollies.
That's pretty good.
So yeah,
It's going to be the most popular house in the
you
neighbourhood.
would be. Yeah, I did try to do a couple more loops, but he kind of caught on to me. But I should have changed my costume, so it would have been okay.
I might do the same thing this year.
3 different masks.
Set up in the garage and call it Trick or Whiskey Neat. I think we've come to the stage where it's just so normal in Australia now, this Halloween thing, that we just got to deal with it. As much as we're all like, it's American, I'm not doing it. Nah, the kids love it, and we dress the kids dress up, and we have to go around to people's houses and sort of expect a bag full of lollies. So we're like, oh, fine if we have to.
Yeah. I think you can tell at houses that are going to be receptive to it if they've got all the decorations and everything.
Yeah.
Isn't the rule like the light on?
Yeah, front porch light on.
Porch light on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's heaps of
Embrace it,
decorations
boys.
now. Like, it is. I reckon there's more in my street with Halloween than there is Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And I'm like, far out. Which is cool because it just means I don't have to walk too far.
Yeah.
It's like up around the block, then done, instead of like having to go everywhere.
Easier to cover your hedge in fake cobwebs than lights, right?
That is true, because when you're done with those fake cobwebs, you can just throw them in the bin instead of trying to wrap up those bloody Christmas lights.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah, we have to do another episode on the bullshit from Christmas.
I'm just going to leave them up on you and just put them into some real festive, like different ones, not Christmas lights.
Yeah.
And then just put different shapes and just keep changing it maybe once a quarter. See if
Great
it
idea.
knows it.
What about you, Cam?
No, I think we're just going to just roam the streets this year and see who's, we're on a pretty busy road, so just see who's participating.
Do you know what boils my piss?
Grinds your gears?
Yeah, nah, worse than that. It boils, like bubbles my piss. When kids have started, I don't know about your kids, but my kids have started calling it candy.
Oh.
And like, what's the word for fairy floss?
Cotton
Candy. And like calling lollies candy. And I think my eldest called a can of Coke soda. Oh, fucking spit my lip.
It really is boiling your piss.
So my piss is fucking bubbling. Anyway, my 8-year-old called a can of Coke soda.
Oh.
That was the line for me. I'm like, are we just America now? I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like Donald Trump's going to come over here and run for Prime Minister. I'd take him. Totally off topic.
He's got a lot of money to back out. We've got him in the moment. Fucking need it.
What about you, Chris? Let's get this back on.
This is actually our first Halloween in a new neighbourhood.
Yeah, right.
And so, we never really got into it before just because where we were in Griffin, they never got into it. But Em actually came home today, has all the lollies,
Nice.
candy, all the lollies. So, we'll be there. But I do like the beer idea. I think I might add that to the...
You should make it Powers Gold. That'd be the ultimate giveaway beer. Please take these.
Just find the tip. Ton.
Yeah.
That's the one. Yeah.
Whatever
warm
it is.
ton.
Oh, what?
Trick.
I'll be coming back later that night with a carton of eggs.
Hey, boys. I had a bit of an issue yesterday getting my kids' attention, and I thought it was the perfect time to bring a reminder to all the listeners of the podcast that there's one absolute greatest of all time way to get your kids' attention. Chocolate, lollies, ice cream. And everyone, without fail, will look at you straight away. So just thought I'd bring that back. We have mentioned on the podcast before, but if any parents are having trouble getting their kids' attention, just shout out things that they love.
I'll give that a go.
So don't throw your thong at them.
Probably works, but they just
Yell ice cream while you do it.
Yeah. Oi, ice cream! Whack!
Are you like a Greek nonna or something? Hey, take us some food.
Yeah, and when they're finished, then I just spray some Windex on them. It fix everything. Apologies for those. Yep.
Sorry, not sorry.
The tube.
Bants.
Yarn.
Convo.
Chinwag.
Chat.
Shoot the breeze.
A heart to heart.
Spilling the tea.
Dad discussion.
Make sure I take everyone off mute this time. So let's get into a bit of a deeper chat with Chris. We've got you here for a reason. Don't want to talk too much shit. Well, we'll warm you up. We've just warmed him up with a bit of shit.
That comes later too.
I mean, do we have to go through all this other stuff? Like, you're a dad, we get it. Let's just go to the fun stuff at the end. mate. Tell us, if just for the people who didn't listen to the Are You OK episode, just tell us a bit about yourself and your family, man.
From like little family, like from when I grew up, or my family now?
No, your family now. Just
Yeah, so married to my wife, Em. We've been married for coming up 9 years at the end of this year. So, and then Daphne was born on Easter Sunday this year, so she's just gone 6 months, like a week ago. So, yeah.
Being a religious,
dad.
yeah, that's so good. But being a religious guy, does that hold any significance to you? The born on Easter?
Not particularly,
Nah, okay,
because
cool.
it changes every year. So it's Easter
true.
Sundays, yeah.
But she was born on the
I mean,
actual
it's
Easter
kind of like
Sunday.
it's kind of cool, but like at the same time, like no, like any other day's fine.
Yeah.
I suppose you didn't really.
Like she didn't come out of a
Yeah, I didn't-
cave or like resurrect or anything. Yeah, fuck it, she's all right.
It's not like we had a whole lot to say about the day. Like,
I mean, it just also did wreck all of your chocolate eating. Like, you know, like yeah,
oh mate, yeah, kind of, yeah,
yeah, got in the way.
really did. Inconvenient. I'm just kidding.
So you,
Regardless, every year it's guaranteed to rain on her birthday. So.
so how long? So you're a pastor,
Yep.
beyond church. How long
Yep.
have you been doing that for?
A bit over 8 years. So
Wow.
we started it. What was that? 2000 and I don't know my maths. 2014, 15. We started it, and so that we started it at a local school just down the road, and then 2019 we moved to Griffin State School. So yeah, been doing that for 8 years, and then before that was Chappie for a little bit at Grace College, actually. GLC represent. And then before that was I lived in the States and studied and played football and stuff.
Cool. And for those Australian listeners who don't understand that the football's the world game.
Oh, sorry, soccer. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. just clarify that. Yeah.
My apologies.
What made you want to be a pastor though?
That's a good question.
Did it sort of fall in your lap?
Yeah, I don't probably have like one of those deep Spiro stories. Hey, it was just sort of like I came back from America and playing football, and then I thought I wanted to be a chappie because I was like, what a crazy gig. And then I just sort of felt like I love what chappies do, but what I studied and stuff, it just sort of felt like I was trying to help people with my hands tied behind my back. It was like, you can only see them during these hours. You can't go to their sports games. You can't like, and I was like, man, like, I like going to football games. I like watching, I like the sports games. I like connecting with people outside of that 9 to 3 or whatever. So
Yeah.
then I kind of transitioned into pastoring, and yeah,
Get
just
a
sort
bit
of
more freedom.
yeah, I just sort of did it for a while, and I was like, oh, this seems good. I enjoy this, like, and then yeah,
Sick.
That's a way
so
to do it, though. Like you wanted to do something, but what you were doing didn't suit you, and then you've just found this thing that it's just
Yeah.
now, and that's unreal. That's anybody's.
You mentioned your young family. What do you call it? Your young family before, like.
sorry, I guess my family of origin.
Yeah, we'll talk a bit more about your family of origin, mate. How can you tell us a bit about your upbringing and how it shaped you as a dad?
Ooh, I think like I had a fun childhood. I think like mum and dad, and then I've got a brother who's nearly 4 years younger than me, just under 4 years younger than me, and so grew up in Aspley. And my dad was a cop. Mum was a cop, but then she retired when she had me, and so then was in like special needs teacher aiding and stuff. So for the most part, like grew up in a pretty happy household. Nothing like too crazy. Had a really great relationship. My dad was sort of one of those guys that was always there for you, but then probably because of his upbringing didn't necessarily know how to express it really well. And so that's like gotten so much better as we've sort of gone through life. And I think that's probably one of the things that has sort of shaped, or it's one of the things I want to think about, especially with a little daughter too. Like, what are the words you say? What are the what are the things that you tell her that she'll start to kind of believe and ingrain about herself? So
They really are little sponges, hey? And you really, I think peak fatherhood would be them coming home and saying that someone yelled at me today because they said that I was telling lies, and I was like, well, what are you lying about? I'm like, well, you told me that so and so and so, and like obviously a kid, like whatever your dad says is fucking gospel, isn't it? And this someone like just challenges on them, and they're like, well, my dad told me, it must be true. Yeah, that's peak fatherhood, I reckon. So if you
Stop telling them that they built the Great Wall for rabbits.
Oh, mate, yeah. If you can strive to that and teach your daughter Just this one nugget that she believes forever.
I don't know if you've seen this guy on. I'm sure he's on Instagram, but I've seen him on TikTok where he just answers random questions. Like the kids ask all those random questions, and he just makes up answers.
Oh, that's gold. No.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, why are the squirrels running like that? Oh, because they're chasing blueberries.
As long as you say it with some confidence.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
So here's a special example for you. So my old man, when I first got my learners, he said, learners aren't allowed to go more than 80 k's an hour on the highway. It's just law. And I was like, okay, sweet, no worries. I'm sitting in the left-hand lane just doing 80 and these cars are going past going, like aggressive overtakes and all sorts. It's like, Dad, surely, like, are you sure? No, mate, yeah, you can only be, 80 k's an hour. I was like, all right, fine. Got my open license 3 years later or whatever it was. And one of my mates was like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you going at 80 k's? Oh, yeah, sorry, it was just for my learners. He goes, what? And then, it just shone down. I was like, oh, he was taking the piss. Far out.
Overly cautious.
Oh, he literally was.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
I do love it that he spent 3 years and he still didn't even tell you.
No.
He's just like, we're riding that one out.
Shuckles
Can't
away
wait
to
to
himself.
overtake him on the highway and go, you fucking idiot.
So can you tell us how being a pastor, being involved with schools and lots of different aged children, how that's kind of prepared you for fatherhood?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know if it has, because I didn't really want to be a dad. Not like that's not the right. That's not.
No, we get it.
Yeah, it was more like I was like, I think if I'd wanted to, if I'd been keen, Em and I would have had kids like 3 or 4 years ago. But I was like just really nervous about the whole situation, and maybe because I'd seen like doing youth ministry and seeing kids in broken homes and seeing like some of the not great parenting, you just kind of go, oh man, it's a really big responsibility. And like it's not just like this is a 18-year plus the rest of their life commitment. I was like, I don't know if I'm capable of that.
Am I grown up enough for this?
Yeah, like seriously. So I think I was really like nervous about it. So it probably made me like, more cautious than anything else. Yeah. Or just seeing how put together, or what I thought was put together there. Some parents were that I'd like work with. I was like, man, I'm not that put together. Like my lifestyle, I still don't know what I want to do with my life.
Now you've learned that's all a lie.
Yeah, exactly. It was all a front. Wasn't it?
Exactly. They had no clue.
So what changed it then recently? Obviously the last year and a bit.
Yeah. I don't know if this is the best thing that changed it. And when I told her, she's like, it can't be that. I was like, well, I think I was just reflecting. I was talking to a few mates around like who were dads and a couple of guys I really look up to. And I was like, how'd you know you were ready to be a dad? And they're like, oh, you never know, mate. And I was like, well, the fact that I'm on the fence and Emma's so keen, like, is it really worth denying her something I knew she'd be a great mum, and she is a great mum. But I was like, is it worth denying her something she's so wired to be when I'm like 50-50 and I could go either way? So I was like, all right, well, we'll just go all in. And I told her that. She's like, that's such a stupid reason. I was like, I thought it was nice.
Well, I'm thinking about you.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm being romantic.
That's the turning point. You're the turning point.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's good. Well, talking about pregnancy and stuff like that, any issues, any complications that came up?
Em was real sick for like the first 3 months, like just absolutely ratchet. And it was sort of coming out of that. It was still sort of kind of COVID-y times. And so you never really like, I remember there was like really early on, because we ended up telling our family after like 8 weeks, because she's someone who never gets sick. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, sorry guys, got to cancel family dinner. Em's sick. And it's like, what? Like, what's Emma sick for? And like, had 2 weeks off work because she was just so ratchet. And I was like, did you have a virus or something? It's like, you never get sick. And so, that was pretty rough. Like, and sort of early on, because I run, I was like, I had a race coming up. I like slept in the spare bedroom. We thought she had COVID. We were like, oh no, like it's got to be COVID. Like, and then it was pregnant. But yeah, it was. So there was just that. But then there was one time it got. Like we had to take her to the not the emergency room, like the super clinic at Marumba Downs, and get like a drip in her arm and like get a needle to stop her vomiting, because she just sort of got in a cycle and just kind of like
couldn't get out.
Couldn't get out. So yeah, that first bit was like pretty rough, but then on from there wasn't too bad. She had a little bit of high blood pressure throughout it as well.
Yeah, up and down.
How'd you support her through all that and through the rest of the pregnancy through freaking COVID. Jeez.
Yeah, well, it was. I think the first sort of bit, it was kind of just leaving her alone, really, because she'd go to school all day, teach kids. Well, you know what it's like. And it was just like I've got to hold my shit together when I'm with these kids, and then it was sort of get home, collapse. So my role was really just cook dinners or just support her, or just like on the weekends, just like leave her alone, just let her sit in the bed, watch the TV shows. Don't expect too much, and then. Yeah, towards the end of the pregnancy, she actually like started to feel amazing. So we were going to the gym together. She was walking every day. Like she was like loving life.
Yeah, wow.
So yeah,
Total change. That's unreal.
The body's like honeymoon, it's all baby moon before the
yeah.
the nightmare that was pregnancy. That is, I mean, like pushing a kid out, not the rest of the.
But I think as
parenting.
well, Em also didn't get like she didn't get like super big. So for her, like there wasn't a lot of swelling, and she was sort of like she said, I feel very fortunate because it's not uncomfortable for me to move around. I can get up by myself. I can cruise around by myself. There wasn't some of the other things that you could get.
Yeah. So she's all baby out front.
Yeah, all baby out front. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
All right. Once you've had the kid, once Daphne was born, I was getting there. I got there.
Yeah. Got that.
Once Daphne was born, how did you adapt? So were you up to it? Did you just wing it?
Yeah, I just winged it.
Yeah.
I just learn as I go.
Yeah.
That was the...
all right.
Love
Okay. If anybody did not do that as a dad, please contact us, all right? Because we all fucking wing it. Even if you've been around kids, like nephews, nieces, it doesn't matter. It's still totally different when that little thing is in your hand.
How did you find the first night that you were home with it? Her.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. It was more like I think I was more in that mode. Like, what does Em need?
Yeah,
so I still probably hadn't registered. Like, I think you hear different stories of people like, oh, the first time I held him, it was like changed my life, and it didn't for me. It was just like, I don't know you. Like, yeah. Like, okay, cool. Like, and then, so I think it probably wasn't that scary. Like, or because Em's so chill. So I was just like, oh, I'm just going to look after her and so, yeah, I think it probably hit me more because what we'd do early on is Em would get up during the night and then I'd wake up at I typically wake up at 5 anyway, 5 or 6. So I'd get up and like wheel Daphne out of the bedroom so Em could get like a few hours sleep. And I think it hit me like when I'm sitting there early in the morning and it's like still kind of winter, so it's dark and I'm like got this baby and I'm like, holy crap. Like, this kid's like going to watch everything I do and is going to like see everything I do. Like, wow.
So is she a boss FIFA player yet? Or?
No, she does love her football though. Like, she watches a lot of football, that girl. In fact, the day we brought her home from the hospital, we watched the Arsenal-Liverpool game.
That's commitment.
But that is also one advantage of having such a young bub. Those late night, early morning things, and that all of the overseas sports are on.
Yep.
I remember.
We brought that up on the pod a few times, haven't we?
I think Wimbledon was on when a couple of my kids were born, and so it was like, yes, it was painful getting out of bed, but there was actually, okay, good, I can sit here, I can hold you, you can sleep on my chest while I watch this,
And I think there's something like I don't know, like I feel like everyone talks and they prepare. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be sleep deprivation. It's going to be all these things. But also the baby sleeps in those first couple of weeks, sleeps all the time. So you just sort of like, we felt, there's actually a lot of time when you're on leave to like just watch shows together and kind of hang out. And it's like it kind of eases you into the storm that sort of comes.
False sense of security.
Yeah.
But it is
fucked.
I'm not even there yet. I'm just still 6 months old.
See, I know someone who from day dot, their bub did not sleep. It was my niece, did not sleep. There was lots going on at the time, so I think obviously feeling that energy and stuff like this. And they're from Melbourne, but they were up in Queensland at the time for lots. Yeah. So I was very hands-on with that bub at the time, and so I'm just trying to get to sleep. And I know that when we had ours, so she came up and was like, "Oh, I'm here to support you," kind of thing. I'll be here for, and literally, Bub was asleep, like about a metre away from the TV. They were sitting down watching, and she's like, "What am I doing here?" Oh, well, you can clean if you want. I don't care. You can cook us dinner, but we're watching TV. Is that what you do? That's what she does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
And I feel like we kind of had this joke that like we feel like Daphne was just on beginner mode because she was really, really chill, really chill baby, like slept a lot. Even now, sleeps really well during the night. Yeah. Doesn't necessarily sleep super well during the day, like kind of 30-minute naps.
You
Except
take
for,
it though, right?
Oh,
Yeah, except for when you need to go somewhere, then she's like, right, an hour and a half. Coming right up, guys. But yeah, she'll be up maybe once, twice during the night, but maybe like 20 minutes, 30 minutes total time awake. So yeah, she sleeps really well. So I feel like we're very fortunate with that.
Oh, touch wood and take that anytime. Like if a kid doesn't sleep during the day but sleeps at night,
Yeah, it's
I take
fine.
that every single day.
One question I had was obviously like fatherhood network's really important with mates, you know, going through a similar thing.
Yeah.
How does it, I mean, there's a bit of overlap as well. How has it also been having like a church network, which a lot of people don't have, to support you through, you know, the early kind of first few months?
Yeah, I think it's probably, I don't know whether it's different being the pastor or not, but like we got a really great community. So one of the things they did was, I think for like the first 3 weeks, they just had a meal train going, and it was like every night people had just drop meals off. I had to like put a pause on the meal train because Em was like super organised, so she'd like frozen all these meals in the fridge. I was like, guys, you need to pause the train for a couple of days because like we can't eat this fast. Like, so that was just really really awesome to kind of have like an extended network of people. And also I think at least in my circle, like we're the first kind of friends in our circle that have had kids. Second kind of, but like in a church network, you've got people who have young families, you've got people who've been there, done that. So it's sort of like, I guess, good for you can kind of reach out to people and just kind of go, hey, how'd you handle this? How'd you do that? So yeah, it's kind of a diverse network.
Yeah, great.
That's awesome. You mentioned a couple of things already. Obviously, a bit of FIFA, a bit of running, so this. We learned a bit about you last Sunday, about your escapes. Would you tell the listeners today about any other mental escapes you get up to?
Yeah, well, Whiskey Friday is like my favourite mental escape.
Whiskey any day with Y.
Yep. So for people who haven't didn't listen to that other episode, like one of my best mates, or my best mate during one of the big floods, like normally we would play golf at 1 mile, and it was just raining, and he's got this big 4B. He's like, nah mate, the water's not going to stop me, I'll come round, we'll play like COD or something. And for whatever reason I had Jack and Coke in the fridge, which I don't normally buy, and I was like, I've got some JDs. He's like, yeah, all right. And then the next week he's like, do you want to get some whiskey again and like come round? And so then it just became a thing. We're like, all right, well, let's just go to Dan Murphy's, like $50 to $80 bottle of bourbon, just grab it, and then over a couple of weeks we'll just go through it and sometimes play golf, sometimes drink whiskey. And then there's sort of like my brother and his best mate, and then me and my best mate. There's like 4 of us that are really, really close. And so it's kind of, when they work different shifts and stuff, it's good because then you kind of get like special guests into Whiskey Friday. So yeah, that was good. And then my mate, actually, he's in Canada at the moment with his partner for a couple of weeks. And so this Friday, my brother's mate was like, oi, no Whiskey Friday, do you want to go stand up paddleboarding and drop some crab pots in the Pine? So we went and dropped some crab pots in the Pine on front.
It's the most North Sider comment I've ever heard.
Let's stand
That's
up
great.
with the crabs and the pots on the front.
So we had the pots on the front, just stand up, paddleboard down. Then on Saturday afternoon, my brother came down and we picked him up, and there was no crabs. And my mate's like, do you guys want a beer? So we just had beers on our stand-up paddleboards on the Pine.
Sounds great.
On the Pine, just beating off bull sharks with your paddle.
Yeah, we won't talk about how many 3 metre is I've seen caught just up the road.
Yeah.
Scary stuff, eh? Let's talk about parenting style. How do you find it would be hard with a 6-month-old?
Yeah.
How do you envision yourself as a dad? Do you feel like it's your way, or do you feel like you're going to let her get away with a bit, or how does that differ to how Em is?
Yeah,
just personality-wise as well.
Oh yeah, I think it's probably hard when you're 6 months, like when they're 6 months old, because you don't really know. The only thing that I can I coached football and women's football for like 10 or 12 years beforehand, and so I think I'll probably be a little bit more chill, and can't try and kind of have conversations, because I remember early on I was pretty kind of talking to the girls like you talk to the boys, and very direct. And I remember Em pulled me aside. She's like, you can't talk to girls like that. They just don't. They just don't respond. You kind of really got to get alongside them.
Attack the box and score. You can't say that to 15 chicks.
So I think, maybe I have a little bit of an insight into I'd probably just get alongside and support. And I feel like I'm probably someone who's like, I kind of want you to figure it out on your own. And then if you're really about to step off a cliff, I'll grab you. But I'd like you to like figure it out as much as you can on your own, and we'll navigate that way.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
She got you wrapped already?
Oh, so wrapped. Like, it's so bad. Yeah.
It only gets worse, man.
Oh,
I'm talking from
mate.
experience
Especially with
of
girls
two.
as well.
Yeah,
And I work from home too, like, and so it's just like Em's got some time off, and so or not time off, but like paternity leave, and so the amount of time that I waste coming out to make cups of tea to just like, oh hi, Daff, you better, you want to play for a minute? Like, okay, it's like, go and do some work.
I have to lie on the ground.
Yeah,
So I take it, cups of tea, your favourite part of fatherhood so far?
cups of tea, cups of coffee. Yeah,
That's awesome, man. And obviously, 6 months old, quality time's a lot of just cuddling. Is there any other quality time that you enjoy?
she's been camping with us twice actually, so we've gone
Interesting.
camping, and she loves the outdoors.
Really?
Like froths it. So yeah, we'll have her inside, and she'll be in the morning. She's like pretty chill, and she'll kind of be inside for that wake window. But then after the first nap, it's like 15 minutes starts squawking, and so then it's just take her outside, put a mat down, and she's just like, ah. Like I was outside with her this afternoon, and she was crying after she woke up from her nap for no reason, just having a massive sook, and then took her outside, and she's just staring at some bush for like literally like 15 minutes. She's just lying there staring at it, like no toys, no nothing. I was like, okay.
So you've got her on a mat when she's 6 months old. It sounds like you're going to need a leash when she's 6 years old.
Oh mate, she's like moving.
You'll have a runner.
Yeah, she's moving already. She's commando crawling around the house, and
unreal.
like it's kind of scary, because one day she was just like couldn't roll, and then all of a sudden starts rolling. And then Em and I are like, I think she's moving. And then we're like, no, surely she can't be, because our niece only just started kind of crawling, and she's about 1. And then, sure, all of a sudden, it's like, how'd she get under the table? And
Yeah,
start to do it, like,
Gone
she's
backwards.
commando crawling, she's charging, like... So, yeah, it's a bit nerve-wracking.
It's time to start locking up a few things when they start blowing up.
Yeah.
I've got one of the kiddie gates.
Yeah.
Sort of, I've got to invest in some more.
It's a sad day when you've got to move the like little bar, your little whiskey station.
Now, I saw something actually the other day. I was going to send it to you lads, but it's the perfect way to like childproof things.
Okay.
So you set yourself up on the chair, put your little coffee table next to you, just a tiny little one, and then you get that baby gate and you put it around you. And then you're perfect. And in front of your TV, and then you got whatever you want.
Get someone to bring you snacks.
Yeah. Or you could just do it in there too. Just
set
have your
the day.
snacks. Doesn't matter. That kid's not getting in.
That's so good. Well, there's one hack. Do you have any other ones, Chris?
I think for Daff, it's just weird stuff. So I don't know if you guys have heard of that Aussie band Seaforth. They're kind of like a country sort of poppy kind of. They're two blokes, but she loves this Seaforth song called Loud Music. So if she's having a sook, just put Seaforth Loud Music on, bang, smiles, like starts dancing, like absolutely loves it.
Yeah, right.
And then we're just trying to transition her to like start sleeping, like, or changing that up. And for like the first little bit, Em had been breastfeeding her, and then Em's like, I should start like feeding her so you can start to put her to bed. And it's been she knows when she's coming, she just screams. And so I play You Should Probably Leave by Chris Stapleton.
Yes.
On repeat.
Song,
And, and she loves it. She's as soon as that song starts playing, quiet.
That's awesome.
She's like, you should probably leave. Get out of my room.
And I don't know if this is like allowed. Like I don't know what the science is. The science, shouldn't show them any screens or whatever. But like, do you guys know Hey Bear? Oh, it's like this YouTube thing, and we just call it the fruits. And it's like when she's losing
Dancing fruits or
yeah,
something?
when
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
losing her marbles and like just going off, just play the fruit video, and it's like crack for kids.
Yeah,
We're at a
wow.
stage with Lenny because he's 7 months. Same thing. You just want him to finally have his bottle and stop squirming. To put on the dancing fruit.
Yeah.
Just stares at it.
Yeah,
Wow.
and we just kind of use it as a little reset.
Yeah.
Like just play the fruits for a minute, reset. Oh, I'm happy again now. I forgot what I was losing my mind about.
Yeah.
Little colours on the screen.
Is that science? Is that a science thing? Like just the shapes and colours and all that on that?
Yeah.
It's a
the reason
business model there because it's got like 20 million views on those videos.
Yeah.
crazy.
I tell you what still is a classic and works every time. Wiggles.
Of course.
No
it
matter
is.
what age.
But it's the
Old
colours.
faithful.
Yeah.
It's the colours, it's the music, it's the dancing. Because they're always
all
doing
the nursery
dancing movie.
rhymes. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the other one? Well, Teletubbies when we were growing up. There's a reason why they had that particular shape and their faces were round because that's what the kids look at. That's what brings them their attention. So there is a science behind it.
8 and
colours.
6-year-old and 4-year-old at the moment. I'm watching some show called the Rainbow Friends or something. It's like huggy wuggy, kissy missy. I'm like, what are you? This is nonsense. Turn that shit off. And then I'll put like Jersey Shore on.
Yes.
Right, boys. Do you have anything else you want to get out of the big man himself? Nah.
No, I think it's just been good hearing from a dad with a young baby, and because we always say that, a lot of dads come and seek us out when they're kind of in those early stages. So it's always good to hear stories from a younger dad.
Yeah, definitely. Just an ordinary dad too. Don't take offence to that. Just like you're just
I'm very ordinary.
just a dad. It's like
He's the number one passer in Griffin, mate.
I knew we had some famous people on this pod. You'd probably be top 3. Right, it is time for the dad quiz. We haven't busted this one out for a while, have we?
No, we have not.
No, so it's just genuine things that just textbook dads would say and have said in the past, and where you'd say it and people are like, oh, he's such a dad, like that. They're the answers we're looking for. So we've got 6 questions for you.
Okay.
We might alternate through. Okay, I'm going to go first. Wait, no, I'm not. Oh, that's Cam's colour. Fucking run sheet.
When a dad ties down a load to the 4-wheel drive or trailer, what's the throwaway comment?
We got to slap it first and say that's not going anywhere.
Correct.
Oh.
Ding, 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 ding.
Slapping
I was
everything.
going to say bonus if I could just
Yeah.
corrected the question.
And then if no one hears you, you got to say it louder.
Yes.
Slap it harder.
I said it's not going anywhere. Old mate down the road is like, shut the fuck up. Such a dad.
All right. If your kid hurts themselves, they might hurt their leg or their foot or their arm, what should you say to soften the blow?
There, buddy? I don't know.
Or we'll also
More dad.
Put some concrete. Like,
That's too dad. That's too dad.
Also would accept.
you gotta
we're gonna
coach me.
Cut it off. We'll have to cut it off.
Oh, we're going to have to cut it off, mate.
Sorry. Yeah.
Right.
This is good. I feel like this is preparing me for
You're
what's
learning.
going on. Yes.
Yeah. I was going to say, a couple of these ones are probably a bit old. These are future.
But, I mean, you would have heard him as a kid as well. Like,
Yeah, but I feel like that gap
Especially
for me
in
has been too
Aussie
big.
cop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a novice dad.
Okay. When your kid finds a coin laying about, what should you be saying?
Oh my goodness, I know this.
It's any sort of money.
And don't think logically, like, don't put it in your mouth.
No, it's something like that's mine or something, or like that's where's my tip, or
Oh, so close. Yeah, don't spend it all at once.
that's it.
Keep the change.
Yeah.
Or rip it off him and go dad tax.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll accept that tip, though.
All right, when they're standing in front of the TV, what's the throwaway comment?
Oh,
This is something your dad might have said.
yeah, I know what. What'd he say? Something like can't see through a brick wall, or like
Oh,
you're not
that's
invisible,
good.
or
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. We also would have accepted, do you think I'm a glass maker? You make a better door than a window.
That one's so good.
This is pretty much
Taking me years to figure it out.
Yeah, why use it so much in my classroom? Like, mate,
I can't decide if I got a giggle or a scoff the other day. We're at the in-laws' house. They just come back from 3 months in America, and me and the father-in-law were watching something on the TV, and the mother-in-law and my wife walked in front of the TV doing something for the kids. Like, they were doing they were looking after the kids, not just sitting on their ass doing nothing like we were. And what did I say? It was something like, I knew your side of the family were glass makers. And they were both like, it's like the pity laugh. Snort. Oh, God.
I'm surprised they even gave you that much credit.
Yeah, I'm such a dick.
All right. When Daff starts to talk, she says that they're hungry. What do you say?
Oh my goodness, I feel like this quiz is showing me just how much of a novice I am.
You haven't had to use any of them yet, though.
No,
this is like preparing you.
Yeah, this is preparing me.
like,
I feel like
It's a revision.
yeah. There's plenty of food in the fridge.
It's good.
Yeah.
We've got food at home.
Yeah. We will also accept it. G'day, hungry. I'm Dad. Also works the board.
And tired.
Yeah,
All of them. All right. And when a dad has finished mowing or working in the garden, what's the first thing he must do?
Wow, it's Whiskey Saturday then. Right?
Correct. Ding ding. And you stand back and you admire your work.
That's
Of course, you got to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't count unless you admire it.
Yeah. Yeah. So you go inside, you get that beer or that whiskey, and you walk back out.
Okay, so that wasn't much of a test. It was more of a revise, ready for the
I feel
times
like this is
ahead.
An
preparation.
induction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this has been helpful.
Inducting. Yeah.
That story of the week.
Right, Chris, we've been talking off air about a couple of shit dad stories and what sort of qualifies as a shit dad story. Just shoot one at us. What do you got?
So it was literally an hour after Daphne had been born. And so Daphne came early hours of the morning, like 4 a.m. And I need my sleep.
How inconsiderate, by the way.
I know.
It's a
Rude.
Sunday and at 4 a.m. What the fuck?
Had the Easter Bunny been.
No, not yet. The Easter Bunny didn't get time. And so I was wrecked. I was just very tired. Obviously, Em's more wrecked because she's just gone through labour. But she sees me about an hour and Daph's still feeding and she's like, do you need a nap? Would you mind? That would be unreal. And so I went to the couch. I was like, I'll just do 30 minutes. Hit the timer, and apparently within like 15 seconds, I was snoring. And the midwife was like, is he serious? 30 minutes, I was up. I was good to go then. Yeah.
Fresh as daisy. Wife's just sitting there going, fucking dumb.
No, she was feeling great. She was like, I've got the endorphins, I've got the adrenaline. So like, yeah, that's kind of
Lovely.
yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
you just got the death stares from all the midwives. They were straight in the break room.
Yeah.
It's like, wait until you see this fucker. What did he do to his missus?
I was like, this is a wife-approved nap. But yeah, definitely a shit dad moment.
Get it on paper next
Yeah,
time.
you wait overtime. Those wife-approved things will just be a trick. Get you.
Oh, yeah, they're all banked back and just it's going to come.
Yeah.
Where's you, Camo?
Mine this week. So we've got some family staying with us at the moment from Scotland, over from Edinburgh.
Oh, born in Scotland.
So we've got a full house of people, in-laws and sister-in-laws, brother-in-laws, all of that. And we're number 3. We're pretty used to, especially with a 7-month-old, him just drinking out of the dog bowl or whatever. Just he's going to get some germs. He'll be resilient. But the sister-in-law and brother-in-law brought over their little 3-month-old, 12-week-old from Scotland. Had a great flight. He's a bit jet-lagged kind of thing. And it's been 3 or 4 days now, and he's already caught a cold from our kids,
yeah.
who we're still telling every time, especially number 3, coughing. Cover your mouth, mate, cover your mouth. And his favourite thing to do is not just touch the face of little baby Callum, but just squeeze it and get right up and...
Shove fingers in the mouth.
Yeah. So pretty much within 4 days, we're already, getting the side eye from the parents. Those parents going, baby's sick for the first time. But I'm like, you gotta expect
It's gonna
it.
happen,
It's
isn't
gonna happen.
it?
Yeah.
No, you need to start playing. No, I'm sorry. That's just delayed from the plane.
Yeah.
Should have just cycled through. All right?
How many
Yeah.
people were you on that plane with? It is
Yeah,
not my children.
No, that's a Scottish flu.
Yeah.
It's a different cough.
Yeah. The other one I had is really just more just my daughter caught me out. I'm pretty quick on my feet with speaking. With work, I'm always just kind of talking to clients and, telling them some things off the cuff. But she said to me, Dad, is a fairy's real? Was what she said. A fairy's real? She goes, I don't think they are. They're like dragons. I was like, yeah, they're like dragons or any other mythical beings. And she's like, what about the tooth fairy?
Oh, just ditch you.
So I'm like, nah, tooth fairy's a bit different. I'm like, that's her job. She gets paid to do that. So she's, she's pretending to be a fairy, but she is magical. So I was like, that was the best I could come up with. But I'm like, you little shit, she's
played you. She's just
only
gone in.
5.
Just gone in with this one question. I'm like, if I get you to answer this, I can fucking ask anything, and you're gonna have to.
Got him. Got him real good. My kid today, the 4-year-old girl, wanted a pet Pegasus, I think she said. It's like, what's a Pegasus? It's a horse that's magic and flies. It's like, so you want a pet horse? No, a Pegasus. I was like,
So she been watching My Little Pony?
yeah.
Yep.
It's like, sorry, babe, that's about as real as the tooth fairy.
It's only one thing. What do you got?
My shit dad story comes from being at your place last week, I think it was. Whenever it was. Anyway.
Do we have beers?
We did have beers.
Yeah, that's why I can't remember.
Yeah. Actually, it was straight after the Sunday. Are you okay?
Oh, yeah,
Sunday?
okay, that's different. No,
It was
no,
Whiskey Sunday.
Yeah.
Which is Any day I drink now, it's just going to be whiskey day.
Weekday whiskey.
Weekday whiskeys and then weekend whiskeys. Anyway, we're at Dave's house and the little ones were we're about to go. It was like 5 minutes. We gave them the 5-minute warning. All right, we're leaving. Oh, I want to watch TV. Can we go watch My Little Pony? Whatever it was, whatever they wanted to watch. I was like, no, we're leaving. What are you doing? And then I went to get the remote. I was like, no, we're leaving. Don't get the remote. Don't touch the TV. It's out of batteries anyway. You can't watch it. Look at it. The screen's blank. No, it'll work if you turn it on. No, the batteries are flat on the TV. The TV's got no batteries in it. And they're like, the TVs don't have batteries? I'm like, oh. And I was fully engaged by then. I was like, how do you think a television worked? I was making them feel like they were the idiots. This is like 6 and 8 year olds, so it's okay. It was all in jest as well. And I was just like, how do you think a TV works? He goes, well, you turn it on and then it works and you watch something. I was like, and what makes the TV work? The remote. And I was like, no, the batteries. I didn't tell him the remote had the batteries. The TV was plugged in. And I was like, the TV has no batteries. It doesn't work. And we'll get some batteries. And I was like, no, it's not how this works, mate. We're going to go to the shop to buy batteries. So if you want to go to the shop to buy batteries, let's get in the car and we'll go. And they just walked straight out to the car. Okay.
I feel like that worked.
Right.
I guess that's why Zave jumped out of Mum's car into yours. You're like, you're going to the shops to get batteries.
He's going to get batteries.
Hey, come back here. We're getting batteries.
Silly boys.
Oh, that's good.
Fun times.
Mine comes from... Actually, one happened on the wife's watch, so it's even better. And one happened on the weekend. So it was Sunday, we're sitting at Sandgate Pool. Nice hot day, sitting there having some chips. Went over to the fish and chip shop, come back. All sitting there around, heaps of families here. It was a hot day. Next minute, Miss Four sitting there, holding a chip in hand. And she's like, oh, fucking... And then continued a little conversation, like she was talking to Miss, one and a half.
She said, oh, fucking.
Yeah, she did. And then just continued a conversation. It was out of context. I'm like, what is fucking? And I sat there and looked at the wife. Like, it's a bit strange. Like, that's so random. And like, did I
fucking hear that, Trace?
And I sat there. Next minute, after having a conversation with the little one, like just obviously being the little mum like she is, he's like, these chips are fucking hot. And just takes a bite. And I'm like, and I was waiting for the wife who was sitting next to her to like jump in to say, no, we don't do this. We've had this conversation before multiple times, but in public. And there's so many families around us with young kids. Next minute, I was like, my wife's just pissing herself. And I'm like, babe, we don't say that word. Why? I'm like, because it's a grown-up word. Yeah, but... they're fucking hot. And I'm like, oh, yes, they might.
Like she's
be.
right.
We don't say it, okay? We don't say it. And the one that came on the wife's watch is don't turn your back on our 18-month-old. I told you, she's my bully. She just bullies everyone at home. Little Miss Four was sitting on the toilet. She walked up to her. Poor thing, while she was on the toilet, got in really close, looked like she was really loving. Anyway, then just bit her nose and then ran off.
Far out.
And I'm like, okay, assert your dominance a little bit more. Why not? So, and it was on the wife's watch. We always talk about don't let her go. Like you can't take your eyes off her kind of thing because she's a menace. Like she'll pull chairs out, climb on the table, all this. Yeah, but no, what happens? She lets her go and she's in the bathroom next to them and she just bit her nose.
Right. Has your 4-year-old, our girls are the same age, just a couple of 4-year-old girls, is she going through a right little mull stage at the moment?
She was, yeah.
Mine will be like, I'll say something to her and she'll be like, I don't want to do that. I was like, babe, I don't care if you don't want to do it. This is happening. This is what we're doing. And she'd be like, fine. Like full vicious snarling. I'm like, what?
Yeah. What? Our daughter's saying, I know to everything. Ooh. Whatever it is, no matter, I know. Oh. And I could tell her something. I was reading her a book and there's a word that she would have never, like an old-timey book, she would never have heard that, never understood it. This is what this means. I know. I was like, no, you don't know. That's what I'm telling you.
I feel like that's on par with being called champ from a Like, it's just...
Mine is, what's my little Miss Four say to me?
Champ.
You can't... No, she's like, all right, champ. No, she says to me, you can't tell me what to do. I'm like, yes, I can. I'm your dad. She's like...
I think you'll find.
Well, you can't tell me. This is my room. Like, well, this is my house. Yeah, beat it. Go in the backyard. I don't care.
Next week she'll be like, yeah, all right, champ. These chicks are
Take this dinner away, fucking muppet.
Oh God! All right, well that wrapped up a excellent shit dad stories this week, and I think we've got to finish off a great episode here. I think we're going to go with a bit of a shit dad quote of the week.
Yeah, so this week I wanted to once again rely on AI to give us a bit of help. Been playing around with it a bit lately, and this time around I was like, give me a quote about fatherhood, something that's going to give Chris a bit of wisdom as he embarks on the rest of the journey that is fatherhood. But of course, anything that I do usually has a bit of a Star Wars lean to it. So I said, give me an inspirational dad quote around how fatherhood is just like Star Wars. But I said, but make it quite nice and inspirational. So here we go. Embarking on the intergalactic journey of fatherhood is akin to wielding a lightsaber. You never know when you'll need it, but it's undeniably cool. In this cosmic adventure, changing nappies becomes a Jedi mind trick. Navigating sleepless nights turns into a hyperspace jump through the galaxy of exhaustion. And transforming toddler tantrums into laughter requires Sith-level mastery of wit. Amidst the constellations of chaos and the asteroid fields of spilled juice cups, may the force of paternal love be your guiding star. Embrace the warp speed of milestones as each tiny step and mischievous giggle crafts a unique chapter in your very own space opera. And when the day is done and you find yourself in the quiet of the night, remember you are not just a dad, you are the captain of a starship and that fucking house as you navigate the celestial wonders of fatherhood and leave a legacy that shines brighter than 1,000 supernovas across the universe. Pretty good, eh?
That's delightful.
And then I told it to, because you can do obviously some visual stuff in there now. I said, do a Star Wars themed image of our podcast, and one of the guys has to have red hair. This is what it came back.
So accurate.
What do you reckon? Pretty good?
Yeah.
So that's a bit of visual and inspirational Star Wars fatherhood.
That's got to go on the socials this week as well. Sure. Maybe that should be the episode release time.
I'll share this image on our socials. Yeah.
So good.
All right, so that's actually now a task for you, mate. Like, you need to write a Star Wars themed homily for your service. And if you don't want to write it, just ask.
Cam's a pro.
I used to do, this is like not Star Wars theme, but I used to do, because obviously we're a church for people who don't go to church.
Yeah.
So sometimes people would be like, oh, could you drop certain lyrics into messages? And it'd just be like little Easter eggs for people. And I'd be like, how can I drop this random lyric in there from this song? So yeah, I'll come up with a Star Wars.
Yeah, do.
I'll do something in there. I'll do a series.
Yes, do it. Just a couple. Just a little
Just
bit.
a
Just to
couple
get them to just pique some attention.
Just enough that it's like subtle, but people don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2024, here we come.
Chris, it's been a pleasure, mate. Thank you so much for coming on, taking time out of your busy week.
Guys, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
This is a
mate.
blast.
Appreciate it.
I love what you do.
Hope you've taken something out of it. And
I've taken a bunch. And that quote. I feel like I'm going to frame that and put it in the office.
that little story. But no, I really appreciate you coming on. And hope to hear more from you soon with your shit dad stories.
Can't wait.
Awesome.
Thanks once again, everybody, for joining us for another busy week in fatherhood. We'll be in your ears again this time next week. Have a great week, everyone. See ya for the kids.
See you.
Cheers.